Welcome back to another YouTube video. It's your tutor, Disha. Today, I'll be working the Cape Environmental Science Unit 2, June 2018, Module 1 questions. Question 1 reads, define each of the terms animal breeding and genetic engineering. Animal breeding is a branch of science that deals with the propagation of highly productive and suitable animals for the enhancement of the overall performance in the subsequent generation and to increase profitability. Genetic engineering, on the other hand, is a branch of science that deals with the artificial manipulation, modification, and recombination of DNA or other nucleic acid molecules in order to modify an organism or population of organisms. Moving on, Table 1 shows rice production in a country for the period 2000 to 2004. Use the grid on page 5 to draw a line graph to represent the data in the table. All right, guys, here is my line graph. What I've done is I've used the data from the table to create a graph in Excel. So what you can do is to draw your graph on a graph paper and compare it to my graph here. Let me remind you that there is a 1 mark allocation for the title. Ensure you place an appropriate title below the figure as well as you label the axes. Moving on, suggest one reason for the trend observed in Table 1. Looking at the table, we're seeing an increase in the productivity of rice from the years 2000 to 2002. And then after that, rice production declined. Climate change or improper rice water management decreased the productivity of rice. Next question, define the term integrated pest management. So integrated pest management is an environmentally sustainable agricultural practice that focuses on the eradication and prevention of pests or their damage through a combination of techniques such as biological and cultural control and the use of resistant varieties. And the corresponding question here says, describe 2 agricultural techniques other than integrated pest management and outline 1 advantage that each technique provides to agriculture. So apart from IPM, we also spoke about conservation, tillage, and post-harvest management in class. Conservation tillage, as the name suggests, is conserving how you till the soil. So you're minimizing the tilling of the soil. So in turn, conservation tillage improves soil quality, increases organic matter, improves filtration, and reduces soil erosion. For post-harvest management, this technique is all about preserving food after harvesting, right? So it's a system of handling, storing, and transporting agricultural commodities after harvest. And the advantages of this is that it improves the Caribbean's food security, it reduces losses, and maintains the quality of certain agricultural produce. Number 2, the graph in figure 1 shows the sugarcane production and the sugar usage in the Caribbean for the period 2005 to 2008. The first question says, calculate the minimum quantity of sugarcane used for ethanol production. This is around 9,000. And then for the total sugarcane production in 2006, this is around 310,000. And then the next question says, state 3 deductions from the graph in figure 1. So looking at figure 1, we could see here that the amount of sugarcane used for sugar was greatest in 2006. Sugarcane production was also greatest in 2006 too. The amount of sugarcane used for ethanol production was the least in 2007. Moving on to the next question, discuss two factors which may have been responsible for the decline in sugar production seen in 2007. So this could be due to the cropping system. Recall that the cropping system used for sugarcane production in the Caribbean is monoculture, and monoculture often leads to soil problems like soil acidification, degradation, and this can affect the plants, right? The yield of the plants. Secondly, the Caribbean is prone to natural disasters like hurricanes. So it could be an instance where there was another natural disaster in the year 2007 that decreased the amount of sugarcane being produced in that year. Next question, suggest two ways in which the cultivation of sugarcane can lead to soil degradation. So because sugarcane is one of those crops that is cultivated under a plantation system, there's the use of heavy transport machineries that can cause soil compaction, as well as the soils on these plantations over time become eroded or acidified. The last question here in Module 1 says, discuss two roles of sugarcane cultivation in the Caribbean. So here I've provided four. The main one here is that sugarcane production provides employment to Caribbean nationals. Secondly, sugarcane production provides foreign exchange and strengthens the country's GDP. Sugar can be exported or it can be transformed into value-added products. Lastly, sugarcane provides livestock feed, sugarcane provides fuel, ethanol, and so forth. All right, guys, these were the Module 1 questions. We'll discuss the rest of this paper on the webinars.